Hello, this is Marion Davenport of the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running in the November 8th, 2022 general election. We are grateful for the support of the Kara and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me today is Ms. Amanda Orozco Beach, running for Gresham City Council, Position 6. Welcome, Ms. Orozco Beach.
Hi, Marion. Thank you for having me.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for this office.
Well, I have been living and working in Gresham for 13 years as an organizer and a service industry worker. I majored in Portland State University in majoring in political science because political systems and understanding them has always been a passion of mine. I've always wanted to work to make our systems better, and it takes the right kind of leadership to, roll up the sleeves and do the work. A little bit more about me. I have a 4-month-old daughter, and I have a husband who is a 13-year combat veteran. He served 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan as a reconnaissance scout, and my family plans on calling Gresham our home for many years to come. So why I'm running is because I feel for too long people get into politics without thinking about the people they serve, and I hope to change the stereotype that, people in politics do care about their constituents. Gresham is going through a lot of growing pains, and the city needs leadership with this in mind. We need to constantly be prepared for the future and make Gresham the city of choice to live in and raise a family. Gresham is also the 4th largest city in Oregon, and I think that, the city deserves leadership with this in mind. So we're never going to go back to the way how things were, and we need to be ready to tackle the problems we have now and prepare for anything that we have coming our way in the future. And I believe I'm ready to take on those responsibilities.
Thank you. What would you say the city's most urgent needs and goals are, and how would you address
them? Well, while canvassing, listening to voters, and my perspective, Gresham's most urgent needs and goals is improving public safety, housing, jobs, and services to struggling residents. Longstanding tax measures in Gresham have prevented the city from having revenues needed to run a city of this size, and residents are still suffering. The city of Gresham leadership has underfunded police and fire departments for over 10 years. And by not addressing this, we've gotten to a crisis level. And even with everything that our country is going through, it's definitely exacerbating everything. So I think it's very much so time that we start addressing those things. Gresham City Council was also able to fund the police at the highest levels, mostly thanks because of the American Rescue Plan Act dollars this year. And sustainable funding is still a serious problem for Gresham, and it impacts all of our departments. Our fire department actually doesn't meet the national safety response times, and it's actually pretty common across the country as well. And our police department is also short on officers, and again, that's not a unique Gresham issue, but Gresham needs to focus on upstream solutions in order to address the public safety concerns for the results that we need in the long term. I also support the efforts of the Gresham Youth Violence Prevention Program, who collaborates with local nonprofits to find the resources that we need to help our youth stay away from crime and train themselves for the better. I'll also work to partner with our local and regional state government to advocate for humane and long-term solutions. Poverty is increasing in East County, and we have to provide sustainable programs to address homelessness, pass more legislation to protect renters, keep corporate interests out of Gresham real estate, and help with services to get our families off of the streets. People that are homeless come from all different walks of life with nowhere to go. They range from teenagers leaving abusive households, folks with severe mental health issues that can't find work, and people with addictions that are having a hard time fighting. And people are being forced to live in their RVs when they lose everything. And I think we need leadership that is sympathetic to that. So the biggest help that we can possibly provide to get the housing issue underway is to put more pressure on leadership at the national and state levels, as they have way more funding than we do at the city level. The funding to help our fellow Americans is there. We just need to work together as leaders to make this fight a priority for us.
This League of Women Voters Portland Video Voters Guide interview and podcast of Miss Amanda Orozco Beach, who is running for Gresham City Council, position 6. What efforts would you make to ensure that the concerns of all city residents are being heard and addressed?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion are key concepts that have recently been introduced to the city of Gresham. Two-way communication with our residents is vital in order to run a democracy and have Gresham have community support. I support the efforts to ensure we are respecting the diversity of our residents and building relationships with our community in ways that are comfortable and accessible for them. I will insist that we remain aware of the many languages spoken in our community and offer communication and outreach that can be understood. I believe that we must take extra time to seek out those marginalized groups and work to foster those relationships. The efforts I would take to following up with them is that what I'm hearing on the campaign, and I would actually start by appointing a committee on each issue. This committee will be made up of people from Gresham who come from all walks of life to provide different perspectives, and we will work on their feedback as a council to see what needs to be worked on at every single business meeting. I will also hold monthly town halls to solicit feedback and updates to our residents and to avoid any spread of misinformation or discontent in our city. No city in this country is perfect, and Gresham is going through a lot of growing pains, as I've said many times before, and a lot of families from all walks of life are choosing Gresham to raise their families, and that's a great thing that we should be proud of. It is important that we are ready to meet these needs to envision our new Gresham.
Thank you so much, Ms. Amanda Orozco Beach. This concludes our video voters guide and podcast interview of Ms. Amanda Orozco Beach running for Gresham City Council, position 6. Election day is Tuesday, November 8th. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and exercise your right to vote. Thank you for joining us.